Have you ever thought to yourself, is Zoro gay? Be honest. Don't be ashamed. It's a question we've all asked ourselves on our One Piece journey.
It's a deeply complex situation once you start to dig into it. Today, we're here to talk about Oda's unintentional, yet undeniable, gay coding of the Straw Hat's favorite swordsman.
We have a few topics to discuss in favor of why Roronoa Zoro is a gay man. First off, we're going to start with how Zoro chooses to present himself. Now, you may be thinking that just because he is masculine, he can't be gay. This is not true. The flamboyant gay man stereotype is often depicted as the only form of gay rap in media, but the LGBT+ community has rejected this notion that it is the only way gay men can exist in real life.
Now, you may have noticed that Roronoa Zoro has his left ear pierced. Not only once, but 3 times. The common joke of the gay ear being pierced is also a stereotype in and of itself, but it is very common for gay people to engage in subcultures that include alternative fashion and body modification jewelry, because being gay itself is also considered a subculture.
It is also important to note that Zoro's hair is green. It is unconfirmed if he dyes his hair, but given the fact that Oda has stated his nationality would be Japanese if this were in a real-world context, we can only assume that Zoro's hair is not naturally green, so he most likely dyes his hair. He is participating in the alternative look that many gay and bi men choose to take on.
Let's go over his fashion really fast. Pre-time skip, he is seen in unbuttoned tropical shirts. This is the fashion of the LGBT+ community. Earlier, we stated that stereotypes are not the only way gay people exist, but stereotypes can also be founded in certain truths. In this case, the community has claimed this fashion for themselves, so it isn't really a stereotype as much as it's a gay trend. Many lesbians and masked trans guys state that button-up shirts are an easy way for them to control their appearance and signal to others that they are part of the community. Zoro is trying to signal to the Straw Hats that he is gay without making a big deal out of it. If you look at the screen, we will insert pictures of him in Arlong Park as well as Subodi.
Speaking of things that the LGBT community has also claimed for themselves, it is extremely apparent that swordsmen and swords are a part of that. Lesbians in particular love to master the blade. Zoro is not only becoming the world's strongest swordsman for himself and Kuina, he is also doing it for the gay community. He uses not only one sword, which could be dismissed as a coincidence, he uses 3 swords. Since this is a safe for work video, we have chosen not to delve into the potential phallic implications this could also bring to Zoro's characterization, but you can ponder on that yourself. Zoro's rebellious nature is not only in the fact that he rejects the world's government and oppression of the Marines, he is also rejecting the homophobic tendencies of society as a whole. In his introduction, he seemed to be breaking the law, but for good reason. Though he is harsh with his words and attitude, he seemed to care deeply for justice, even going so far as to eat the rice ball that Rika made for him, even though it was stomped into the dirt, for the sole reason that she made it for him. It is not a stretch to say that he rejects the ideal that man and woman is the only valid union. If the One Piece world did have laws against recognizing gay marriage, Zoro would also reject that and get gay married.
Pirates have historically been known to have same-sex marriages take place on their ships. In the 1600s, it was even considered common for male pirates to marry each other. It was called matoutage, after the French word for sailor. Matelot's partners shared their loot and most likely shared a bed as well. This is where the word matey originally came from. Zoro is widely considered by most fans, and by Bartholomew in the Dressrosa arc, to be the first mate of the Straw Hats. While Oda has not confirmed this position technically, it's worth noting that the fact that he doesn't discourage the fanbase from considering Zoro the first mate. Though this isn't a solid point, we feel that it is worth bringing up the fact that Zoro is very rarely seen to be sitting in chairs in what is considered the proper way. While we see Nami and Usopp use the chair as intended, Zoro is stretched out or not using chairs in the traditional sense. Many gay people will make jokes that gay people do not sit in chairs properly, so this is really just meant to be supporting evidence, not the only reason we know Zoro is gay.
Finally, and our strongest evidence pointing to the fact that Roronoa Zoro is gay is his canonical lack of interest in women. The first instance we strongly see this in is the Alabasta arc. When the Straw Hat Pirates arrive at Whiskey Peak, they are greeted with a party. Women, food, and drink are offered to them as a feast. While Usopp and Sanji are charmed by the women, Zoro rejects their company in favor of eating and drinking.
The same thing notably happens in the most recent arc as well at the time of recording, Wano. Hiyori sleeps at Zoro's side, and when he wakes up, he is annoyed that she was there. Even after Hiyori claims that most men are excited after she sleeps with them, Zoro is still only seen to feel inconvenienced by this development and isn't charmed by her beauty in the slightest.
Instead of being focused on women, he is focused solely on his swords and training. However, there is only one thing that takes precedence over this, and that is his captain, Monkey D. Luffy. As many fans have already dissected, Thriller Bark is evidence of Zoro's character development from caring about his dream to caring about others' dreams.
He puts the life of Luffy, the man who he says is the man who will become the Pirate King, over his dream of becoming the world's strongest swordsman for his childhood friend, Quina. Luffy's dreams are at this point just as valuable, if not more valuable, than Zoro's dreams. It is a little gay to dedicate your life to another man.
One last thing we'd like to touch on about Zoro's dedication to Luffy is the fact that at the end of Barati, he is seen making a promise to Luffy after his defeat at the hands of Dracula Mihawk. In this vow, he tells Luffy that it would be embarrassing for the right-hand man of the Pirate King to be anything less than the best swordsman in the world. He is so dedicated to never losing again that he puts aside his pride after the crew's separation at Sabaody in order to train under the hand of his rival for 2 years.
In conclusion, after considering all these points, there is only one way to read Roronoa Zoro's character. Not only is he not attracted to women, he is actively attracted to men. Roronoa Zoro is gay.
We are happy to have been able to provide an answer to all your inquiries regarding Zoro's sexuality. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more video essays.